Welcome to another anime review. We were gonna do the next anime on the list, but I wanted to do another anime review. So this is an anime review of Bland S. Okay, so first off, let's get the characters out of the way. We got your main five characters. You got your main character who's an airhead and doesn't know what love is, and it's pretty fucking funny. So yeah, that's a thing. She's pretty much a generic airhead. She doesn't get most of the terms because she's an airhead. She doesn't get what sayings say what, this, that, and the other thing. That's pretty much it. Then you got the manager who's in love with the main character. He doesn't have the balls because he's too shy and stuff like that. He is really good and stuff like that. And it's an anime. What do you expect? He's too shy, and then when he tells her, she falls asleep. He has the worst timing ever, and that's what happens. The third main character is the guy who cooks, because this is all in the cafe. The whole entire scene is in the cafe, except for a couple of scenes. Um, he's in the kitchen. He's technically a weeboo. He plays video games and doesn't do shit outside of work. Something that I know personally because I used to do that when I used to work at a freaking grocery store. um, the and that's pretty much it. He doesn't really get a backstory. He's just there. The fourth main character is a girl with blonde and she has big boobs. Um, the thing is the fact that she also likes to play video games and she does have a character development of trying to make new friends and stuff like that. And this, that, and the other thing. And the fifth main character is a college student where she's small. She looks like a little kid, but she's actually in college and she gets good grades and stuff like that. She likes black coffee and stuff like that. Okay, now there's two more main characters of the main roster. First, First, you got the character who is probably the most funniest introduction when she comes in, because they built her up by having her misplace her manga in the store, which is kind of fucking funny because the manga is about a girl getting tied up. It's 18 plus, and when they find out that it's a girl who drew the manga, they're like, "What the fuck?" So yeah, that's the thing. She writes manga, but only for 18 and plus. So it's like mostly hentai and shit. They don't show any naughty parts or anything like that. They do show a girl that's tied up on the manga book, but that's pretty much about it. The whole entire series is that she's in the background trying to make manga by watching these people do their love story and stuff. It's pretty fucking funny. She's on episode 4. Now then, the last character. Before I get to the last character, there is a dog in the anime that's later, but I'll get to that later. The fifth main character, I love it how they introduced her. Well, sort of. I mean, they introduced her right off the bat, unlike the last character that we established, because she gets really introduced in episode 4. Episode 3 is when she's introduced, sort of, and then she gets more character development about her personality and stuff on episode 4. So it's like this, that, and the other thing. Episode 8, on the other hand, is where the last main character shows up, and she's a good girl and stuff like that. But the problem is that she's a cross dresser, so she's a dude, and she's not a girl, she's a dude. Um, there's nothing wrong with that, but what the fuck, Japan? Why would you make a dude that looks like a chick cuter? What the fuck is wrong with you? I don't fucking get that. it's it, trust me that trust me that's the only thing I have to say about that character. And then the last character is the dog. Of course, he gets introduced in episode 9. Okay, so the plot is that the manager is in love with the main character, and he tries to tell her, but stuff always happens. She falls asleep, she has a nightmare, this, that, and the other thing. Same goes for the guy who works in the kitchen, the girl with the big boobs. There's also that and stuff, that and other thing. Here's the main. I'm gonna get to the negative stuff that I did not like about it, but before we start, the comedy is fucking gold. I mean, there's a part where I don't know why the fuck would you do this in a cafe, but the manager decides to make weird shit happen. Like for example, well, let's start off with the cafe itself. It's not your normal cafe because every girl that takes your order has a different how do I put it, a different characteristic to their character. So in real life they might be nice and this that and the other thing, but when they're in the freaking in the character, when they're working they're in a character. The main character likes to smile, but she's a sadistic smile, so she's like being a freaking scumbag to the customers. Then you've got the girl who's always polite and stuff. I forget. They show it in the other one. Sartistic is the girl that's like the manga and stuff. And then you get surprised because she's like, this, that, and the other thing. The manager goes beyond the wall is fucking nuts. Okay, there's also a beach episode and a Christmas episode. Christmas episode's not that long because it's in the last episode, but I digress. The thing is the fact that the episode that stand out the most is when he made the fucking cafe look like a fucking jungle. He put a bunch of fucking what's it called? He put a bunch of fucking trees and branches like a forest jungle in the cafe, and the joke is the fact that all the people that work there are fucking lost because they can't see shit because it's all covered up in trees and stuff. And yeah, so that's pretty much about it. Now then, it's a really good anime. I was laughing the whole entire way through, except for the last episode, because the last episode was more serious than most things. I did laugh a couple times on the episode. The main thing about the episodes that will make you laugh the most is in between episode 4 and episode 9. To be honest with you, it's when they introduce the character that likes to make manga. They put, alright, the good thing about the extra, because there are 5 maids. 4 of them are girls and one's a cross-dresser. Okay, he's a dude and he's a maid. The thing, and he also likes to be an idol too. He likes to be in the center of attention. I don't fucking get that, but anyway, the 3 main characters are start off right off the bat. The college student, the girl with the big boobs, and you know the main character, of course. And then you get 2 chefs. They're just there. The chef that's there is just a side character, and the manager. So manager lives upstairs. I don't know why, but whatever. That doesn't get introduced until episode 9 when they try to figure out a dog owner because the dog people. She found the dog in a box. Says take it home, and then they took it home, and this, that, and the other thing. It's really confusing. The thing is the fact that the manager does some crazy, crazy shit. I mean, the first thing that she tells the main character that he tells her that I love you. Would you like to work here? And she's like, what the fuck? So yeah, that's the main thing about that issue. Now then, what I would like to fix about the anime? Well, here's the thing. The music soundtrack wise is awesome. It's okay. I mean, I didn't get it. Some of the things are forgettable. I like it. It's good for the anime and stuff like that. Here's the things that I did not like about it, and there are 2 main components. Well, maybe 3 or 4. The first component is the character development of the last 2 characters. You see, when the girl that makes the 18 plus manga, I'm saying that because she doesn't make under 18 manga. She always has to put profanity in her manga. Luckily, they don't show it except for that first, 3rd episode that they made. But she gets to read manga. After like 6 or 7 episodes, when the new character comes in, the crossdresser, she's like nowhere to be seen. She's in like a couple scenes on episode 8, 9, 10, 11, and then she's there at the last episode, but in episode 11 and 10 she's hardly in there. She's in somewhat of episode 9, but she's not. My problem is the fact that the character that makes the manga does appears in the first act. The first act is where it goes. My problem with the first act though, is the fact that when episode 8 hits, she's nowhere. She's not even in the freaking scenes. She's like, she's not even in the scenes of when they're making the scenes for the freaking ugly thingamabobber. The thing is the fact that when they make a scene for the restaurant, she's hardly in any of the scenes. She pops up here and there, but she's not in the main group. That's my main issue. It's mainly the 3 people that started the anime that are mostly in the anime. The other issue I have with it is the cross-dresser, because they made her episode was episode 8. She was all this, that, and the other thing, and she was the focal point of episode 8. But after episode 8, she just felt like she just fallen off a cliff. You should at least have her at least focal point for at least 2 episodes, so at least I get a digress of it. I get that they wanted to dedicate a full episode of that character and when she gets introduced, but she needs to be more irrelevant after that, especially when there's only 4 more episodes in the anime as a whole. That's what my main issue is. I mean, they have a side scene where she's with the girl that got introduced, the girl who makes the manga, in like episode 4, but that was only like a scene, and the only thing that happened was that she punched him in the gut, which is fucking funny. There's a lot of jokes in there. It's really good, but because of the fact of that and the 2 characters that don't really have that much character development. I mean, the other characters have character development. You see the 3 main female characters get character development. The main character, the girl that goes to college, and the girl with the big boobs. They all have character development. They all have there's moments of stuff like that, and this, that, and the other thing. My main problem is the last 2 characters that get introduced. They have 1 episode, well, mainly the cross-dresser, because he does not, like, he only has 1 episode that's focal to him, and there's only 4 episodes left. Maybe you should have done another episode just to see what he does, but he doesn't do anything after that. And the sad thing is that he's not in the scenes. He's not barely in any of the scenes in episode 9, 10, 11, and like what the hell. And even 12, he's not even in the scenes that much. And the thing is the fact that the girl that gets introduced on episode 4 or episode 3, mind you, she at the episode 10, 11, she's nowhere to be seen. It's just the 3 main characters. The girl goes to college, girl with the big boobs, and the main character, and also the manager. It's pretty much a 5-man show. I don't get why anime does this. They introduce new characters, but they don't fully develop them, but they kind of do. It's kind of weird. But I'm giving this a 9 because of the fact that the anime as a whole is fucking comedy gold. I was laughing the whole entire anime, and that's really hard for me to do, especially when I've watched so many comedy animes that it's really hard for me to laugh now. I mean, the last anime that actually did that was Love Tyrant, and I love those character developments. But the difference between Love Tyrant and this anime is the fact that when a new character is developed in Love Tyrant, they develop them. They don't just like put them on the sidelines. That's what my main issue with this anime, and that's why it gets a 9 out of 10. That's my opinion. It's still a pretty good anime. The only other issue I have, but it's kind of minor. It's not like an issue, is the fact that the main anime is only sub, which I don't care about that anymore. I've gotten used to watching anime and sub, because I get the jokes and it's pretty fucking funny. But to be honest with you, because of the lack of character development in the last 2 animes, I have to give it a 9. I can't. I was thinking of giving it a 10, until when they introduce the last character. But because of the last character and the fact that the characters that get introduced at number 3 is irrelevant between episode 8 and 11, I don't really like it. And the fact that she just pops out of nowhere in episode 12, that's the other issue I have. But other than that, you should definitely watch this. It's high tier. I'm giving it a 9, high 9. Honest with you. To be honest with you, people that make this anime. If you do make a second season, make sure that you make character development for the last 2 characters, because that will make it more fun for me. Like I said, this anime is perfectly fine if anyone else watches it, but my lack of things makes it not get a 10 because of those reasons. I hope you have a nice positive day. Take care, and boy, do I have a lot to say about this anime. Holy shit. Stay positive, everyone.